Now, this news, we told you about, of course, the graduation video from the FBI's National Academy 10-week program. And they bring in this student who is very proud of his family's linkage to Yasser Arafat. Do we have that photo for people? This is a picture of his father. He's very excited about that. That is Yasser Arafat. I want to go to Jeff Balaban in Jerusalem because, Jeff, you look at that picture of Yasser Arafat. That's not old man Yasser Arafat. That is Yasser Arafat towards right in the middle of running a terrorist organization.
That's right. Look, I think we all understand that Yasser Arafat never really stopped being a terrorist. In fact, Yasser Arafat famously wrote what he called the phased plan for Israel's destruction in 1974. And the plan was to get a toehold, which was, i.e., obviously the Palestinian Authority, and thereby destroy the entire state of Israel using the Palestinian Authority, which is just the PLO, as a way to eradicate Israel. So he's always a terrorist, but he pretended to be a statesman and was awarded, as we know, a Nobel Prize. But this, as you point out, Jordan, predates that. This was when he was proud, openly terrorist days.
That's right, Jeff. And in this image, he even says, "May God have mercy on the symbol Yasser Arafat, healing and long life to my father, God willing." But then there's also an image on his Facebook page. Someone shared a video on his Facebook page, and it's in Arabic. And he liked the video that someone posted. But we looked into that, and it's a eulogy in Arabic by an Iraqi poet to the, quote, martyr Saddam Hussein. So already we're seeing, as if it weren't enough that he worked for a security service with the Palestinian Authority, we're seeing questionable things publicly from this person the FBI was training. So not only are we concerned about the FBI's judgment and who they take on as trainees in this National Academy program, but when you see the images that he was allowed to set up a table at a reception with a placard that said State of Palestine and an image that it's hard to see because it is further back, but when you look and zoom in, there's a Palestinian flag that covers the entire state of Israel. So he's not holding back about what his beliefs are, about who's who and what is what in the region, and yet our FBI is okay with just announcing that he's from the state of Palestine. But Jeff, we're not going to just sit back at the ACLJ. We're going to push forward and we're going to get to the bottom of this.
Well, I think that's absolutely vital, William, because the fact is, as we know, we've already seen evidence of people with very questionable ties at best, people who've actually been thrown out of the administration. Since this Biden administration came into power, people who have terribly powerful influence who seem to be associated with our enemies, not just the enemies of the state of Israel, but enemies of America. And somehow they've come in places of influence. And now we see this example. And so it's necessary to dig into this. Also, this is something which, again, isn't quite as high profile in Israel. I don't think Israel has yet seen this. This is really something that we in America need to really, well, I'm here in Israel, but ACLJ, that's one of the purposes of the ACLJ Jerusalem office, is to explain to Israelis what's happening there so they have a clear sense of the picture on the ground at what is supposed to be Israel's greatest ally, but unfortunately in this last administration has really turned out to be not much of an ally.
And no one had an issue. I want to put that map up again on the screen. I can't imagine that with the well-trained FBI officers that you've got there that are part of this international training program, that if you put up a map like that, which shows that Israel tries to show that Israel doesn't exist, you put the Palestinian flag right where Israel is, and you don't even try to make notations, that no one saw that, Jeff. No one thought that that was potentially inappropriate, where this guy, maybe we should have researched before bringing him over and seen how much praise he has for people like Saddam Hussein on his social media. He's got that he's shared. He's got this, of course, his father's connection to Yasser Arafat that he's very, again, proud of and putting out. He's not trying to hide this anywhere. And then when he gets to America, I think he probably says, let's see how far I can go with this. I'll write down State of Palestine. Let's see if they'll say it. They did. And then when we had the food fair, I'll smile. I'll put up my little food place. We can do the backup photo too, so you can see. It was just like, hey, try some food from this part of the Middle East. But look at where the placement was of the State of Palestine. I mean, that's the biggest State of Palestine I've ever seen developed by anyone. I mean, when you look at that, yes, I mean, yeah, and I mean, it's covering up basically all of all of Israel. He puts the flag right in the heart of probably Jerusalem. And I guess, we've got an issue. I thought FBI training, these would be pretty top level folks, Jeff, that would be able to see this and say, you know what, this violates our policies as the United States government.
Let's be very clear. Jordan, you're right. This is a genocidal image. This is the definition of genocide. It's the eradication of an entire nation. That's what this image represents. That's what the state of Palestine represents to them, and that's what they're producing here. And you're right, at the FBI itself, it's. I guess I'm laughing a little bit because it seems so absurd, but the truth is, it's incredibly dangerous.
Yeah,
and that it's saturated and penetrated so far. And we'll also point out that the result of the Biden administration being so pushy on the idea that it should be a state of Palestine, that the result of the horrors of October 7th. The horrors, the atrocities, is that these people should be rewarded with a state, and that they keep on pushing this idea has led the state of Israel, or the Knesset, the legislature, to pass twice separately, resolutions saying with overwhelming majorities, saying number one, there must not be a unilateral recognition of a state of Palestine. Directly after Joe Biden made a comment about the state of Palestine, saying, no, do not recognize it. And of course, this is what they seem to be trying to do. Facts on the ground. And number two, passed another one to make it clear, if the first wasn't clear, it's not just unilateral recognition, that Israel says, no, you cannot reward the horrors, the terror, the murders, the war with a state, because it's also an existential threat to the state of Israel. And you see this image shows you the existential threat.